What's good, everybody? We are here at Common House in Richmond. We are two of the four directors of the Virginia Hip Hop Foundation. So we're going to do a series of these just so you can get to know us and get to know a little bit more about what we're thinking and what we're trying to do with the foundation. So I'm Vaughn, one of the directors. I'm here with my boy Chauncey Jenkins, aka Chance Fischer, whatever, Mr. Hospitality, wine connoisseur, or whatever you want to call him today.
Mr. Chance Fischer.
Shout out to our other directors, Linwood and Ricky. So you'll get to know them later. But Chauncey, what's good, bro?
Nah, man, chilling. You know, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful Saturday here at Richmond, Virginia. You know, shout out to 804. 2 up, 2 down. Let's go.
So this is going to be super informal. Like, this is not even like technically a podcast episode. This is literally just us having a conversation. And we really want to make sure that people get to hear from us about what our mission and vision is for the foundation. Because this is not just about us. This is about the community. This is about the state. It's about all of us. So for those of you who don't know Chauncey, many talents, but one of them includes rapping. So let's just start with that from a music standpoint. Like, when do you feel like the moment you fell in love with hip hop?
Yeah, so this is hard for me because I think I got like a couple different things, but I was introduced to hip hop through my dad, and he used to like play a ton of Public Enemy, Cool Mo D in the house, Big Daddy Kane. But I don't know if that was like, that's when I first like heard. I heard the It Takes a Nation of Millions album, and I was like, yo, what is this? This is crazy. Like just the production on that and how Chuck D was like really going in was crazy to me. But I think, it's somewhere between, there's 3 distinct songs that I can think of, and then one Cannabis line, which is crazy. Like none of this has anything to do. But it's 3 distinct songs. It Ain't Hard to Tell by Nas. It's Coolie High by Camp Lo, and it's Babylon by Outkast. And I heard all of those around the same time, which is interesting. And I think, you know, just like the way that sample on It Ain't Hard to Tell comes in, you know, the Buddha monks in the trunk turn the bass up, not stories by Asa, get your loot up, parties I shoot up. Like Nas was like really, really, really in his bag. But then I heard Andre say, I came into this world high as a bird from secondhand cocaine powder. I know it sounds absurd. I never tooted. It's in my brain rap. And I was just like, yo, like that was just like a different type of rapping for me. And it made me like really, really fall in love with the words. Yeah. I think, I mean, interchangeably, I could go Coolie High or Lucchini, but Coolie High is my favorite Camp Lo song. Mm-hmm. And I think it's just like, those are all songs that when I heard them, or anytime I hear them, anytime now, I can't turn them off. Yeah. Like when I first, anytime, and it was like the moment where I was like, I think I listened to It Ain't Hard to Tell probably like 17 times in a row. When I, like, you know, and I was like, yo, this is, cause it's crazy. It's just like that. Like, it just sounds like chaos. Like when you hear that record, that whatever that like little crying horn, I don't know if that's a horn or a voice or like whatever. I know it's that Human Nature sample, but it's just like, yo, that's crazy. I think it was that. Right. And then I heard Cannabis say, I can go for days through thresholds of pain and walk across the sun barefoot looking for shade. And I ain't never heard nothing like that in my life. So I was just like, yo, you know, now people will probably say, bro, need therapy or something. But you know what I'm saying? Like that was, those are distinct moments. AT Aliens was like the album that changed my life. Yeah. Like that was really it. But yeah, like those particular, like those were moments that when I heard those things, I kind of just got like really, really glued in. Yeah. Like those are the things that made me want to rap. Yeah. Like the music that I was listening to like a lot of Cash Money and stuff like that at the time. But like when I heard those songs, it made me like view rap very differently, and they made me want to like rap. Yeah. Like I know that's probably long as hell, but like those are. But
that gives everyone the important perspective of your background, but also like why your voice and your vision is so important to what we're trying to do, because you see it from, we all see it from the fans' perspective and growing up in the culture, but also like it's different when you have been in the space of being a rapper. Right?
Yeah, facts.
And you see and you digest and you consume and you dissect all the music from that lens as well. That's different perspective that you'll give, that you bring to what we got going on. Like, I think I feel like it was Mos Def who was like talking about music maybe a couple years ago and talking about the criticism that people have for music or musicians or like the type of music, but like him saying he doesn't really give any credence to a lot of it because not everyone's trying to make music, right? Like a lot of us, right? Like it's a different perspective. Like even me, like being in the band and playing the trombone, the clarinet, and the drums, but also like in college, hopping on Fruity Loops and trying to figure out what that looks like. Like that is also a good perspective of like why we can appreciate and why, you know, we like what we like, but we also we respect it. I think that's the most important part. Like even if it's something that we don't necessarily like our taste wise, but we still respect it because we know what the process is like.
But I think that's something to be said about like what makes the thing influential, right? And as we talk about like where this foundation goes in terms of like its influence on culture, I think you kind of like hit that on the head. Like you might start to create. I love this music. I love this genre because there's so many different ways to like create in it. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like everybody don't got to rap the same. Everybody don't have to produce the same. But if it inspires like dedication to a craft, I think that's a beautiful thing. And I think there's something to be said about like falling in love with something that you don't have to do, right? Like nobody has to make music. You know, it's the same way I feel about wine. Like nobody has to make wine, right? But people do it, and it's like the stories that come through that. Like it's never like what I love about the music. Sometimes I love the writing, but sometimes I love like, you know, we were all in the same dorm room, and that's how we met. Like I love those stories of like, how does this connect people and make better people, right? Like that's super cool. So you know, you might be playing around on Fruity Loops and then you was just like, I got a lot more respect for producers who spend time on this now, right? Because it's like, I was playing around with this thing and it's like, nah, I couldn't just jump in and do that, you know?
It is not like,
shout out
we talk a lot about the technology and how it's helped, and obviously the AI conversation is now a new part of that, but like, just because Fruity Loops existed didn't mean that you just became Knife Wonder or Kanye. Right? Like, you had to learn how to use how to chop it up. Like, right, you had to know the taste in the ear. Like, what samples should you even be listening to try to figure out how to chop? Like, right, like I think ultimately it comes down to that point of appreciation and respect for the culture and the music and what goes into making it. I think that's very much rooted in what we're trying to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess I gotta answer the same question. I mean, when did you fall in love with hip hop? My hip hop story is a little weird, right? Like growing up with my mom, I'm in the car with her in the minivan, and we're listening to
gospel,
Luther Vandross.
Oh,
we're listening to Luther Vandross and Whitney Houston and Tony Braxton. So like, I think that's the good thing about it is like the '90s sound was still like the 90s hip hop sound, 90s R&B sound was still very much related, right? And so like, I think really, you know, don't like I have to say it, but like I was really introduced to hip hop and like really paying attention when it was Bad Boy.
Okay,
Like that, All About the Benjamins is just a crazy song.
Yeah, nah, it's
like,
wild.
All About the Benjamins, that whole No Way Out album, with the Mace Harlem World album, and then, you know, for me, what it was like I said, growing up with my mom, single parent home, like, and me and my dad were good, but like I was raised by my mom, but like, and I have older brothers who are like older, so like they're listening to Wu-Tang, they're listening to Biggie, so when I'm around, then I'm hearing other stuff. But then my cousins, I have two girl cousins that live in Maryland, Upper Marlboro, and we would swap every summer, like from probably age 9 to 12, 13, maybe older. We would do a week in Richmond, the three of us at my mom's house, and then we do a week in Maryland at my Aunt Claudia's house. But we'd be watching music videos all day, like watching The Box or watching MTV Jams or whatever the BET show was afterwards, Hits from the Streets and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yo,
you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's when I really got to like. One of them is older, so we're like Janine is 2 years older than me, and then Rachel is 1 year younger than me. So like we're close enough in age that we're like got the same taste level for the most part. But Janine being a little bit older, like she had me listening to stuff, and I was like, oh, okay. Like I had the Space Jam soundtrack, bro. Like that joint has hits on it, bro. Like everybody, if you don't know, Jay-Z Ghost wrote a verse from Bugs Bunny on there, but at the same time, he's got a verse on there with a song by Changing Faces.
Yep.
And so my cousin Janine's like, oh, what's this Changing Faces song? And I was like, Changing Faces? Well, that's just a song on the Space Jam soundtrack to me. But then I was like, oh, I get to discover Changing Faces. Oh, it's a Jay-Z verse on there. Like, oh, that leads into a whole nother discovery process. So like, that's really what it was for me. Is that's kind of like what got me into it, is spending time with them and spending time just at the crib watching music videos and getting to know that. But then when I think the second part of that is when, again, like not to get in trouble, but when the Napster becomes a thing, I'm the first person in our immediate family and our circle of families, extended families, that has the CD brother.
Oh, so you know,
I'm the go-to.
Oh, you DJ Don Cannon in the crib. You fast taking pictures of me. You know what I'm saying?
So that was such a great process because I was catching up.
Yeah.
I was catching up because my brother was asking for stuff, and like, my brother asked for this song Biggie and the Brat. I was like, Biggie and the Brat, like what?
What is this?
Like, huh? And he was like, yo, I can't find it anywhere. And I found it on Snapchat. He was like, yo, he was so hyped, like. So just being able to do that and be able to catch up, like being able to, I was in 5th grade when Reasonable Doubt came out, but when I heard that as a 10th grader in 2002, at the same time the bloopers coming out, I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy is crazy.
Jay was later for me. Yeah.
This guy's, so like I got, right, like, I think that's a big part of the story too, is like we got put onto those guys in a reverse order.
Yeah.
We got a lot of people our age group. Blueprint might have been the first like real Jay-Z album that they, because we was in high school, middle school, right? Like, so Reasonable Doubt just wasn't something that we was in my frame of reference in Richmond, Virginia in 5th grade.
Yeah,
right?
facts.
Like, 5th grade, I was listening to the Space Jam soundtrack.
Facts.
Yeah, but I will say, let me back up a little bit. In 7th grade though, I had The Source Hip Hop Hits Volume 2. Bro. That joint has so many slaps on it. Like DMX is on it like 6 times.
Nah, yo, he was having a run,
bro.
He was having a run.
That also helped. Like, okay, cool. I'm like, No Way Out. I'm really into Bad Boy. But then like that really was like, here are all these other people who are like good at this shit.
Yeah, X was X was undeniable.
DMX was crazy.
You a Big Pun fan? I'm a big fan.
Big Pun, Big Pun. Twins. They
Twin.
Little Italy.
Little Diddy, no.
Didn't do Diddly. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so obviously our love for hip hop has brought us here, but it also is connected a lot to the pride we have from being from this state. We're proud to be here in general, but we're also proud to be here from a music standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
So just talk about what Virginia hip hop, like what does that mean to you? Why is it important?
Yeah, man. I think before I even get into like the rap side of it, like the rapper piece of it, I think that the production from Virginia is quite lit. If it's not, yeah, I'm biased, of course, but
we're super.
But if it's not,
that's okay.
No, but I mean, I don't even think you had to be biased to like look at the impact of producers from Virginia on the game, right? Like even if you look at, like you can look at, look at Mystical, Nelly, Snoop, Jay, right? You know what I'm saying? Look at Justin Timberlake, all this. Like you got Danger, you got Timbaland, you got Knots, Bink, you got Pharrell, even some homies like some randoms, De Niro, Matt Canfield, right? Mm-hmm. Like those guys are like making like crazy records. You know what I'm saying? Like I think Virginia producers have a almost like Midas touch hand in shaping what the future of sound will be.
Right.
Like I think real I think of that like in an architectural way, right? Like I think Virginia has a thesis on like where it's going to go. But I mean, even if you look at like listen to some of the sounds, like even like Obliv, DJ Harrison, right? Like these guys where it's just like kind of like a little bit more like lo-fi, like real like dusty loops, like beautiful, like still all analog, real warm, like, you know, just things along those lines. And I think that's had like an incredible impact on where you're seeing a lot of like rap now, right? Like you listen to like folks like Anakin, you know, or Mutant Academy, like those guys are coming out. So like any of those folks, Iwani, right? Like all of the, like, I think that there's like I think right now, like the stuff that Freddie Gibbs is particularly rapping on you can trace a lot of that back to like what Richmond, well, I mean, I'm gonna say Richmond for this one, but like, but definitely like what Virginia producers have like preserved and like really, you know, like really, like shout out DJ Harrison, man, because I think what Devon's doing is incredible, and shout out Obliv, like for the same reason, man. Like those guys like took, like they're like putting out all instrumental albums, you know, in the same way that like Dilla was, you know, and it's just like, I don't need no raps on this. Like I can just like sit and listen to it. So before we even get to like the rapping piece, I think that if you look at the past like few decades, Virginia has been extremely influential in what sound will be. And I mean like helping other people architect their own regional sound. Yeah. Right. You know, I think like real like production, like getting the best out of artists. You know, so for me, like that's where I sit with Virginia. I think Virginia has so much access, just kind of like up and down 95, right? That allows it. It's like real, like I said, like the stuff that that made me want to rap was very different from the stuff that I was like listening to, that was like supremely influential to me, right? So you know, like Cash Money was like extremely influential to me, like growing up, right? But you can still, but then I hear, because of that pushes me to mystical, right? And then I hear a record like Bouncing Back is crazy. Yeah. Like that record is crazy, you know, and it's like full like second line, and that's like somebody from Virginia understanding somebody from New Orleans, and like how do we put them in the best light? You know, I mean, but even if you were to like go back to like Teddy Riley, right? Like the same thing. I think that we have a history of understanding sound and getting it out in the most expressive way possible to bring the best out of artists, you know. And I think there's a lot of people from here that people don't even know are from here, that like, you know, they've been in LA so long, or they've been in New York so long, right? But like, I also think that Virginia is kind of like a pressure cooker in that way, because there's so much that you got to get out, you know, and you kind of feel like trapped in a little bit of a way, that it's just like, all right, cool, I gotta really, really dig deep, you know, and there's a soul that comes from that, man. And like, I don't want to like wax super poetic about it, just like, but just the facts, like even if you were to just break it down off the hits and the numbers, like the hits will speak for themselves. But if you break down on like,
when you go deeper,
what it feel like,
when you go deeper,
you know what I'm saying? Like Kanye coming to Timbaland about the drums on Stronger, because he's like, yo, my shit don't knock like that. Like that's like a very specific conversation, right? Yes. You know, and it's just like, and Timbaland's like, oh nah, you and like take this away. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a like before we get to anything else, I love to just talk about production in Virginia for forever, because it's crazy. It's really like. There are whole people, like when Pharrell produced for a decade type shit, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that was crazy, right? But it's like there are whole periods of music that Virginia is solely responsible. Periods.
I was listening to some Bink this morning, and it made me a Bink playlist, and it just made me just think about it, like people who everyone would consider is in the top 5, top 10 of hip hop artists of all time. You could argue that 1 or 2 of their most popular or best songs have been touched by someone from Virginia. Yeah. Like, and you can just, like, we could name them, but I don't, like, let's just save that for another day. Yeah, but if you know who we're talking about, Hove, Kendrick, Nas even, right? Like, when Nas decided to go pop, Shorty, take, like, come on, dog, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy when you think about it. Like, Virginia's got their
Oh my
hands
God, you owe me? Oh my
bro,
God.
for
That's
whatever.
crazy. That's crazy.
It is what it is. It is what it is. But it's Virginia, though. Like, yeah.
Shit goes on. That's such a problematic song. That is. Yo, shout out to that record.
Timbo. Bro.
Yeah.
So, for somebody who's very much still in the community and active in it, like, what do you think is your perspective on where Virginia hip hop is at right now?
Yo, man. So people go back and forth about this a lot, and I think I'm always like really on the positive side of it. I think that, and this is one of those things that I will attribute to technology too. Like I think, I mean, especially like Instagram for this, you know, like you will probably never hear me shout out Instagram crazy like this ever again. But nah, man, just like the ability to connect. And I think I've seen a lot of folks focus on building communities around the work. And like the more we've like moved independent, right? So a couple of things. The more we've moved independent, the more we've found different ways to connect. Instagram, Twitter, like social helps us connect quicker, and we can actually see what people are doing without having to be physically present in that space. And that in turn gets a little bit more collaboration. I think we're in a space where I think we're on the precipice of like really, really great collaboration in that way, but I think people are actually seeing the work a lot more and seeing just how talented folks are, right? But I think there are a few spaces that I'm seeing a lot more 757 to 804 collabs. Seeing a lot more like DMV artists, right? Like come down, you know. I think that's a movement, but I think the biggest place, I don't think folks are like looking for a savior, you know what I mean? And I feel like for a while, like we all wanted just like one big person to like come in. And I think really what we're doing is, you know, building with each other. Me and Skills talked about this, but like building with each other, right? So like, you know, like network with the people around you, and like build those groups, those core collaborators that, you know, and identify the talent like a lot. And I think people are seeing that. The other thing that I think people are showing a lot more respect for is I felt like for a while we lost the journalism piece of it. And I think like not only do we have like really good artists, you know, we spend a lot of time talking about artists, but I think the coverage of what we're doing is insanely beautiful at this moment right now. And I think we have like we're seeing people launch zines, like little like tiny mags, like complete digital series, right? We're seeing content come from that. Like we want to preserve this, you know, and that in and of itself is its own skill. Like I look at those people in the same way, like I look at like an up and coming producer or artist, like, you know, who are the writers that are coming from here? Like who are the people that are like, who is the next Elliott Wilson? You know, well, I don't want to say the next, who is the next them? You know what I'm saying? that has the same energy that Elliott Wilson brought. Like, because I think, you know, you should be you. So like those things, I think folks have focused more on building those communities, and the more we build those communities and the more we can like publicize that, we can all see who's dope, right? And that takes a little bit, it does take a little bit of the work out of it, so it can like help collaborations happen a lot quicker. Like it's like, I see you dope, I see that you dope, cool, maybe we can work together. Or maybe you don't work together, but you just see, but it's like you might see an alley for somebody else over here, right? It's like, now I can't do that for you, but you know, you should go talk to my man. I think right now it's never gonna be, well, I don't want to say never, but like I think there's this romanticized thing, like we should be like other markets, and I'm like, other markets have their own drama too, right? Like it's not just that's not a Virginia thing, right? You know, but I think the more we build our small communities and support our communities, I think the hardest thing to convince people about what's going on in Virginia is convincing other people from Virginia. That's the hardest part. I don't think anybody outside of Virginia doubts what's going on over here, right? Like when I talk to people, it's always like, yo, what's up with y'all, man? Like it's always something there, and it's like you'll see a ton of folks say that, but like I think it's hard. Again, this is another thing that I dealt with. I hate to like make the wine comparisons, but like 30 years of Virginia wine, and then folks are just like still asking, is there any good wine in Virginia, right? Like, is there like there's this myth. There is unity if you show up and you support people, right? Like there's no like
without expecting anything.
That's it, right? Like so it's like we don't have to like wait for like some big overarching thing to be like, yeah, man, like there's unity. It's like, nah, just pull up. That's unity. Like it ain't no different from that.
That is really it.
But the best thing is just like what I'm loving is seeing like people build their own communities and collaboration, right? Like, like different parts of the 757 sound different parts of Richmond sound different, like, like different part of Nova sound very different. You know what I'm saying? And I love that. I love the diversity of what's going on right now. So my thing is like, I think the more we continue to move in that way and the more we focus more on being independent, I think it's just going to create a need for people to collaborate, right? Like there's that, but I think the myth of some big thing is coming to save me, is kind of like falling out more and more with more access to information.
And that's like the conversation of having to leave to blow up is, the way the technology comes into that conversation. It helps it and it hurts it, right? Because it's like, okay, you have access to technology, so you can reach more people. Yeah. But theoretically, still you will have critical mass if the people that you're closest to, if you reach them first.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. Like, you can, and here's the thing, you can be based here and you should be based.
But you should still want to go other places.
You should see
the
world.
Not for the fact that you have to go there to make it, but like, yes, you should see the world. That should be a life.
But like, and I always pitch it this way, like it's less of like, what can I see and what can I bring back? And it's just like, how can you measure the strength of your impact if you don't know what's going on elsewhere? True. Right? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I want to be dope, but it's like, I can still like come back and be me. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you can live anywhere you want to live, right? Mm-hmm. But I need to see like, all right, cool. If I go to New York this weekend, how much can I get done in New York this weekend, right? Like things like that. And I don't think Virginia has ever really had I don't think nobody from Richmond, you know what I'm saying? Like even, Jay saying that he coming down here, I used to dribble down a V. No, like for real, because it's like there's a certain I don't know, hustle that I think comes from this place that allows you to thrive, Right. But I think that your success is dependent upon how honest you want to be with yourself about where you want to be.
And how much work you're going to put into it.
That's it. And it's no different from any other place. So like, if you want to grow at home and like you can and be like local legend, local myth or whatnot, you can do that. If that is your measure of success, right? Like not everybody wants to be an international pop star, and that's fine, right? Yep. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can be a successful musician by just like putting music out. Like that's up to you. Now, if you want to be like great and make global impact, you need to understand what other people's terms are, and that's fine. But it's like, I don't know if it's I do think people need to leave to find exposure, but I don't think you necessarily need to. I think we need to like figure out what folks mean by glow, right? Like what is your metric of success? Right. And that's where the conversation starts. Right. And I think that's what develops like a lot of like very false narratives or just like not completely true narratives, because everybody has different metrics of success. And those different metrics of success are going to have different pieces of work that goes into that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you want to be super avant-garde, you could be super avant-garde and you can be like Brownsville Cop. you know what I'm saying? Which I think, but here's the thing, like incredibly respected MC. You know what I'm saying? Or you can be Kendrick if you want, right? Like if that's your move, right? But those things require just different work and different effort, right. But I think there's a lot here that'll help that. I think there are a lot of folks. I think the bigger thing here is you just gotta be serious.
You gotta be serious.
That's it. You gotta be serious, because at the base of all of this, like time is our greatest currency, and nobody wants to like feel like you're taking advantage of their time, right? So what do you bring to the table?
Don't wasting their time.
Yeah, you know, and it's even more in a market where people are hyper independent, you know, like you don't got to work yourself to death, but you do need to be very efficient, you know, and technology has helped improve efficiency. So if technology has helped improve efficiency and we can see who's doing what, the only thing that's kind of keeping you back is being lazy. Right. So just don't be lazy and have a vision. And I think you can get very far with having a vision, doing work, and just being consistent. Right. But it's just consistency and discipline that's going to get you there. And then doing research. You got to do research. Like who is it that you would like to be like? So even if you don't leave, how do I get in touch with this person? Who can I talk to? So seek that mentorship in that way. I didn't mean for this to be like a thing, but no, it's really, I think those things are really important too. And I think with some of the programs and stuff that we want to do, I think that's going to be like really about expanding perspective.
Yeah. Cool. Talk a little bit more about that. Let's talk about, what's your vision and your hope for what we do with the foundation.
With the foundation? Yeah, man. So just like what I was saying about like the production part, like I'm a big liner notes person, right? You know, and I think there's something about, I don't know. I think about like, when I think about rap, like I think about like griots and I think about like, oral history and oral tradition. But I love the piece of like, how do we pass down the history of this place to folks? Like one of the hardest like, I say hurdles to get over here is just like feeling like, oh, we never had this, or oh, we never had this, or like I don't have like, like not having enough of the history of who did what before you to like be inspired
to know it's possible.
Yeah, and it's like that shouldn't come from an outside source. Right. I don't think that somebody externally should be able to tell you your history more than you know it yourself. Like I think that we should be able to like be kind of like beacons of that. Even me, like part of this is like I want to meet more people to learn more about what's happening in Virginia, right? So like I don't know everything, so I think that it's cool. So I think this is a really great way to get people excited about the preservation of what we have here to make more history, right? Like I don't want to just like look at the past of like what we've done. Like, all right, cool. How do we make more history, and how do we arm ourselves with what came before us in this space? So I'm really, really excited about the historical preservation piece of this because it just reminds me of a lot of like ancestral traditions, right? So I think that's extremely important. Yeah. The other thing is I think that it forces us to like really stake a claim for this place in a very different way, right? Like we are here for the preservation and the extension of this history to like when it was before us to like engage and move people forward, right? And like by saying that really pretty much draws a line in the sand of like, if you are on this side, like there's a duty to uphold that, right? Like there's a duty to uphold like, what this place has been. You know what I'm saying? And I think like we have been innovative in a lot of different ways in terms of like sound, right? I think I love the piece of community engagement. Also your background in hospitality too. Yeah. Like how do we, I think I've seen a lot of the tangential pieces of this. So like the art, the fashion, all these things, they exist in their own silos. And I think it's cool to like really have a dedication to bringing all of those things together in tangible ways for people.
Make people understand how connected they really are.
Exactly, right? Like truly being able to kind of like break down influence. And, I really do want to archive this, right? Like this is us creating a living time capsule, and I think moving forward, like again, this isn't for people, right? Like this is like for people who sat down and was like, yo, why doesn't this exist? Like this doesn't exist. It should, and let's just like really, really make make a moment. Like the only difference between like the first settlers and the place is just like somebody put a flag down or something, right? And somebody said, you know, but we are not the gatekeepers of Virginia music or sound. Like that's not the thing. If anything, like we are folks who are endlessly searching, right? And I think that we have an opportunity to get people something to be proud of.
Why did you make that noise? Why did it stop? What the hell, bro? Why did it do that? Okay, it's still gone. Right. Yeah, I mean, I feel like definitely from the standpoint of preserving the history, but also connecting it to the present and the future is a huge part of what I think is important for us to do with the foundation. Like, and I also like really appreciate, and I'm excited about it from my personal perspective of being a kid from Richmond who has lived in Northern Virginia and now currently is living in 757. Yeah. So like to touch all those different places, but like especially in being in 757 right now, like and living in 757 right now, but also like still being able to be connected with all of y'all here is like I'm like listening and I'm seeing, I'm like, yo, like they're doing this and we're doing this, and like this is the time for us to come together in a way where I feel like the timing of us doing this foundation thing, you know, combined with the energy that's happening in the state, like we just talked about it with Family at Cousins Festival, right? Like coming off the back of them having Cousins Festival for the second year, and Vic has got 757 on fire at Norfolk State. The Clips album has got everyone going crazy. I mean, Clips are about to perform at the Vatican today. We're probably about to, like, it's happening in a couple hours, but like, that's a moment that's just like, that's happening right now, that us starting this foundation right now to be able to figure out how we can help harness it and help direct people, but also like bring in our background experience in our lives outside of music to use our other superpowers to be able to say like, this is how we make this as big as possible, to make the impact, because we need other people to understand, right? Like we know that we understand, but I think to do what we think is necessary to help it reach more people and make that bigger impact, there's some other people that have to be like, oh, okay, this is what's going on. And this is how this thing is connected to bigger things, right, that are happening in the state, in the country, but it all connects back to what we got going on here in Virginia, but also like not just in Virginia history and culture, but the music history and culture, which is important.
It's extremely, I think it's extremely educational. I mean, like even in what was it? I think Jaquan was talking about like the Lonnie Liston Smith sample, you know, and like Jay's like his first like single, like out both sides being produced by like people from Virginia, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, then we get like the history of that you can go deep into Lonnie Liston Smith, like finding out like all of like the dope musicians from here. Yeah. You know, people like Harold Lilly, you know, who's been playing on like a ton of samples or whatnot. Like I think that's what I'm saying, like that liner notes piece of this, where it's just like the same way that like listening to the sample connects you to like another artist, but like maybe you can come and like meet folks and just really find out about like all of like the great music that's happening here.
Yeah. Okay, last rapid fire question, bro. You gotta put together your dream Richmond collab hip hop song right now. A producer, a main artist, and a feature.
Producer, man, and a feature?
Yeah, and a feature.
I'm gonna do two different artists. Yeah, I'm gonna do two different artists with the producer and a feature. And a feature.
A feature is extra. You don't have to add a feature if you don't want to.
Like it could be like a feature though, like it could be like rapper or singer. Like it could be any type.
I mean, yo, this is your world, bro. Get creative with it.
Oh, this is wild. Okay.
Get creative with it.
I want to hear Troy Jones on a Knots beat. I think that would be crazy. Like Knots in his real like soul sample joint. I think that'd be wild. heavy drums. Shout out Troy. Maybe the feature. I mean, Ronnie Luck singing on it would be fire. I just think Ronnie Luck singing on anything is crazy. Shout out Troy, Ronnie, and Torrin, all of them like that. They're doing really good work. It's probably one of my favorite artists right now.
Word.
I think, you know what I really want to hear though? I want to hear my man 3-Way Slim on a Bink beat. I think Slim on a Bink beat would be crazy. You know, those. Yeah, that would be wild if we're keeping it all Virginia.
Yeah,
keeping it all Virginia. Yeah, that would be kind of. Yeah, though. Yeah, Troy on a Nas beat, Slim on a Bink beat. Like Slim on a Bink beat would probably be like Blueprint. Nah, like not even. I mean that from the bottom of my heart.
That's where,
like, I think. Yeah, those are. Yeah.
I guess I'm like. I feel like right now, if you could pull the clips out, because they're just on fire right now.
Yeah.
Put them on Bink, and then have them like grab a young up and comer from the 757, like a Cameron Parker or like a Breeze Barker, like somebody like that. Like that's gonna bring that's that connection. That's like, okay, cool, we got it right now, but like that would be dope.
Yeah, kind of like a passing of the torch situation.
Because I feel like Cameron Parker could bring like a Tyler type vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But then I feel like Breeze is more like kind of like in the JID space, like that's something you could do something like that in the community, right? You know what I mean? Like So yeah, man, it's the talent is there, bro. It's we happy to like embark on this journey. Like we appreciate everyone that supported so far. Like we're really just getting started. So this is middle of September. We're working on programming like through the end of 2026. Yeah. So hopefully, you know, more information about the first events will come out in the next couple of weeks. Just stay tuned. Make sure to follow us on social media. Make sure to also go to our website, virginiahiphopfoundation.org, to sign up for our mailing list so you don't miss any updates about what we got going on. But we're super excited. You know, again, this is for us. This is for Virginia. This is for everybody to be a part of. This is a community-based like vision and mission for the foundation. So we look forward to seeing everybody out there. If you want to support, you want to be involved, you want to tap in, just hit us up. Like this is not like he said earlier, we're not gatekeeping anything. This is about everybody that wants to be a part of the community. Reach out. So it's nothing to hop on a call or meet up or have some emails or texts or whatever. So let's do it for Virginia. I'm Vaughn. This is Chauncey. Chance, whatever you want to.
Nah, it's gonna be, you know, it's
gonna be a mix. It depends on the venue.
Yeah, we're in the museums,
right? Right. But yeah, Vaughn and Chauncey, aka Chance from the Virginia Hip Hop Foundation. Appreciate y'all. We'll catch y'all next time.